Sir Luton, and welcome to this month's Markov's Gallery. My name is Scott, and I'm here with Sam.
Howdy, pilgrims.
And we're going to run through the stuff we found in the community for May, and highlight all the things that we enjoyed seeing in that month.
So long ago.
Yep.
Got to get better at doing this.
Yeah.
On time. To be fair, we did have a few things going on this month.
Yes, I mean, we did release quite a bit of content this month, and it's been a busy old month. So July will be sooner into the month, hopefully. Right, well, let's crack on with the first pick.
So this is actually a joint pick for the pair of us. We both saw this and we both wanted to do it, so we agreed that we should discuss it together. My goodness, it's stunning, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What I liked about it is this is probably one of the more challenging models to paint, I think, because you've got this massive spirit there, the ghost coming off Raisin Spirit himself. You've got to get your colour blending right with that. That's honestly quite intimidating as a model to paint. If you've got to get your colour blending just right. That's not going to look good as the one solid colour. And John's just done an incredible job of blending these different shades of blue, and the focus is on the eyes and the mouth there with that red glowing through it. And then of course you've got all the details going on with Raven Spirit himself in the centre there, because that is quite a detailed model going on, and he's got glow work going on in the eyes, all the wonderful fabrics he's wearing and the skin tones. Wonderful. Just wonderful.
Yeah, it really is a model of two worlds, isn't it? You've got the really out there sort of spiritual ghost part of the model, and then you've got the down to earth human that's in the centre of it. So, like you say, getting both right so one doesn't outshine the other is really, really difficult. And John has managed to absolutely nail that. The energy of the spirit looks really vibrant against the natural tones of the man himself in the middle, and the staffs that he's carrying and the bones and things like that. It's just a masterclass in this model, really. I think this is sort of something that you would put on the box art to make people come and look at it as a model to buy, because it's fantastic.
What I like, it actually looks translucent. It isn't solid resin, but that you can almost feel like you can see through it. The work is done around the very bottom of the spirit with the deep blue there. It looks, that's water. Is that water effect he's put on the bottom?
I assume so. It's either like a glaze or a water effect.
And then blending that in to make the whole spirit look like it's the waters of the land rising up. I mean, how do you make a solid model look translucent like that? That is incredible.
Yep, the light work on it is just amazing. It really is. Like gold star, massive gold star.
Okay, this is one of my picks. As you can see, it's clearly a Tesla bot, but what I liked really about it is, one thing I think this really picks out the quality of Warcradle's models. I said this ages ago, that even the most basic of models in the Warcradle lineup, the hands models and stuff like that, they're so expressive, and you can take your time on the paint jobs, and every one of those is worthy of a hero. What I really liked about this was the shiny look on this, and the little glow work in the eye and the shield and the centerpiece there, with the shininess and just a bit of scuffing on the knees. Really brings in a Terminator feel to it. It's all shiny and chrome, straight off the production line, ready to march out and defend the Union. It just caught my eye. the shininess of it, the simplicity of it, but at the same time, I mean, that's well done. The shading work on here is particularly nice. It's just a lovely example of what you can do with even the simple models, I think.
Another example of doing the basics really well. And like you say, the green glow and the lighting on the shield and the little colour pops on the knees and on the arc generator on the back, it just really gives it that metal machine vibe, like you say, Terminator-y sort of feeling to it. So yeah, really, really good work. And I've said it before, probably my favourite hands unit in the entire game is the Tesla Watts, so always good to see some painted up versions of them. So this was my pick. This was actually from the Mythos Discord page rather than the council or the work in progress models on the Discord, which is unusual because you often see it's mainly like the Mythos posses. Now that the Soulhunters and Nautilus crew are part of the Mythos world, you can now use them in it. So I always look in there occasionally when it pops. There's a new message in there just to see what it is and see what people are talking about. And when I saw this, I was just like, well, that's absolutely going in the gallery this month because wow.
Yeah. The skin work on this is second to none. There's wonderful range of tone there, whether it's the paleness of Ernesto's skin tone going right through to what we've got with Warwick and Jacasta's skin tone. It looks so realistic, it's brilliant. And we've got two wonderfully done spirit apparitions in the back, again magically achieving that translucent effect that I'm so jealous of when they paint those. I'm loving the dark greens that they've got in the clothing. It's a really nice, well thought out colour scheme. Each one's wearing individual clothes, but it kind of ties together. There's just little colour pops here and there that bring it all together to make that a wonderful set.
Yeah, what you say, the skin tones are really well done. I've been practicing basic skin tones just to mix things up a little bit with some of the stuff that I'm painting, and I've just been trying different techniques and different ways of how to do things, and it is surprisingly difficult to get even a basic looking skin tone correct. So absolutely kudos to anybody who can do it like this, do it as well as this. I must ask somebody what is the key to a good skin tone, because I do struggle with it quite a bit, unless it's aliens, which then it's easy because it doesn't matter what it looks like.
Don't care. Yeah, it can be whatever you like, can't it?
So yeah, great work, Terry.
Okay, so this is my Johnny Ringo that I picked by William McKellen. The colour popping here, it just really, I saw that and it just really stood out. I loved it. The bright blue of that coat that he's wearing, contrasted with the tan of his leggings, and the little colour pops, like the little red circles on his jacket and the hat. I just loved it. And the shading work. It's got a very there's a word for this because it's almost comic book in style. It's so vibrant, and I just thought, yeah, what a nice piece of work.
It's got a real pop art style vibe to it. It's not quite cel shaded, but it's definitely got that comic book art, pop art style to it for certain. Mac has been doing a lot of work on Wild West Exodus stuff. There was a lot to pick from this month from him. He will pop up again later. He does the Indie Invasion podcast and YouTube channel. If you've not heard of them, definitely go and check them out. They don't just cover Wild West Exodus, they cover a multitude of different things. It's a great podcast. It's a great channel. So you should definitely go and give it a look. And while you're on the council, have a look at some of Mac's work because it is great. He has also got a veteran of Wild West Exodus in Eric from the Black Hoof Saloon podcast as well. They play games together by the looks of things, I believe. This was my pick, and it was a flip of the coin for me. But again, why I picked it was because of the Tesla bots and Iron Eagles that were done. This is from the Retribution starter set. It's the Tesla Posse, and the small room painter has also done the other side of the box as well. He's done a really good job of making sure that you know which is which, with the blues on the Union and a much darker, I think it's reds on the Enlightened side of the Posse. And it is just... There are some close-up pictures of the models. It's like Golden Demon levels good work, or Crystal Brush, if you follow that instead. The lightning, the metal work, I don't know if that's non-metal metallics or not. I can never really tell, but I kind of feel like it might be non-metal metallics on the Iron Eagles and Tesla bots, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's done an amazing job on every single model in that Posse.
The lightning work on it for me is the biggest seller on this. So good looking with the blue fading into the white. Just brilliant. And you're right, the metal work, whether it's non-metallic metal or metallics, is done. It's great. I love the scoops he's put on the Iron Eagles. They look worn. They look like those scoops have been going at high velocity and had the paint wore off them at the front where their leading edge is. It's not just the scoops, it's all the leading edges on the Iron Eagles. They're all worn, where basically you've been travelling at speed through a desert environment. Paint's going to get worn off and it's going to end up looking like that. It's fantastic. It really, really is brilliant. Such a lovely shade of blue that is used. Again, there's glow work all over the place. I've just noticed the eyes on the Tesla bots there is a cold, glowing blue. It's brilliant. Worthy addition. Okay, this is my first pick for DW today. The colour scheme struck me. Red with white stripes like that. I've not seen that tried with the Enlightened yet. The stripe work looks brilliant. I think that's freehand. At least in some places that is freehand, and it's brilliant. Well done, very well done. And I was also quite taken with the glow work he's done on the generators and the particle cannons. He's gone for a pink colour, which again, not been often tried before. Works really well on both the Hypatia and the other models he's done it with. Yeah, just a really good, strong colour scheme. I like it.
I've been trying to think what it reminds me of, because I'm sure I've seen this somewhere before, and the only thing I can think is that it comes from a PlayStation game called Wipeout. It's like a futuristic racer, and I'm fairly certain one of the companies that you can buy ships for has a flat red vehicle with white stripes down like the fins and things.
I used to play Wipeout on the PlayStation, the very first one.
Yep.
And I think you might be right. That is looking familiar. Rysar or something like that.
Yes, I think it is. I'm not 100% certain, but I think that's where I've recognised it from. It may not be the inspiration that he's used, but it definitely, it's something that I've seen somewhere before, and I think that's it. And yeah, like you say, it works really well, and if that's freehand, wow, I can't draw a straight line, let alone paint a straight line, so kudos. I like the glow effect as well. The pink seems to be becoming a thing for Enlightened. You've got pink turrets on yours. I've seen a couple of other people got pink turrets on theirs. It seems to be a theme that's happening.
It is. It's one of those colours, when if you want something that's going to stand out, and let's face it, if you're playing Enlightened, that's going to stand out. Pink's one of those colours, you don't see it very often. It's not used by the other fleets, etc. So if you put pink on it, you've instantly got some attention grabbing there, I think. It looks weird, it looks alien. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So, this was my pick. The Alexayev by Lee it came quite early. It came very early in the month. Lee is from Forge of Mars. He started recently doing unboxes for a lot of Dystopian Wars stuff on live streams, and he's getting it painted up really, really quickly with astonishingly good results. I just saw today, so we're recording this at the end of June to out as it are dating this, and he's just finished doing the Thule up, which will probably make it into next month's video. And again, like, really, really solid work at a astonishingly good pace. So you should definitely go over and check his channel out on YouTube, Forge of Mars. I think he's got a Facebook page as well, Forge of Mars, where you can check out some of his unboxings. But classic red and light grey.
Yeah, this is classic Commonwealth colour scheme, but it's done so well. The line work on all the panel seams is outstanding. The little touches of gold really help set it off, and the little colour pops on the rockets and the engines on the stars. That really does, it's already an impressive model, but that really does do the model justice. It's a fantastic paint job. The dirtiness of the track in the middle that pulls the hovercrafts on looks industrially used. It's so goodly. Well done, mate.
Yeah, it's well weathered as well. I mean, I didn't even mention that, the weathering on it, like you say, the track, like the wings look a little bit run down, and they have that sort of well-used look that boats have generally when they've been going out to sea regularly.
Grimy, slightly grimy.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah. I picked these Commonwealth Submarines by Michael Johnson. It was the colour scheme that picked it out for me. Red and black like that. It looks super sinister, as submarines are. They're those lurking sinister things under the water, never quite sure where they are. With the red picking it out, giving it that extra I'm trouble look for it. I thought this was a really nice colour scheme, very well executed. Picking out just the right amount of details to give it the colour pops with the red, but not too much to detract from the black. Yeah, I just thought nicely done.
Yeah, it's a really solid scheme. Like red and black and yellow used to be my go-to colour scheme for anything that I painted. I did like all the way Eldar when I collected those, my town, like a load of things, because it's just such an easy to do paint scheme. Like red and black and yellow together just works so well, and this is a prime example of that. And just having that nice balance of not too much red, not too much yellow, and the black just gives it that really sinister, stealthy look to them. Yeah, really, really good. This is the sort of scheme and the sort of balance that I think I would go for on my Italian fleet, which might happen at some point. I think it'd work really well with them. Red, black and gold in this sort of similar proportions, like the trims of red, the flourishes of gold, and then the rest of it just a menacing black colour. Can't wait to see the Akula in these colours, because that's going to look scary as hell. Speaking of the Italians, we have an incredibly beautiful paint job by Steve on the Mars fleet. The second I saw these, I was just like, yep, that is absolutely going in the gallery this month. I don't care what else is done for the rest of the month. This has got to make it in, because it just works so well for the Italians. I think you said before about painting like red and black and gold for gondola colours.
Yeah. And
this just knocks it out of the park, as far as I'm concerned. The heat lances look great in those colours. And just the whole Mars Italian fleet looks so good in these colours. It's unbelievable.
I like the nice. I mean, it's not just a red. It's an iron red. It is the colour of Mars. The deserts of Mars are this colour. Or at least that's what they tell us from the NASA pictures. It just brilliant. It's such a lovely colour scheme, and then contrasted with that pale colour that is put on the decking and the superstructures in some places. Again, not pristine clean. Slightly worn, slightly been at sea. Okay, not straight out of the dock. These fleets have been around for a few years. So good. Such a lovely way to show off these models.
Yeah, and even the little escorts shine.
Mm-hmm. Pick those out, lovely. Okay, so this is my pick for terrain, these flying islands that Pavel's made. There's quite a discussion going on in the Discord at the minute about the use of flying islands and any form of aerial terrain to help counter the threat of an aerial fleet, which basically, if you're up in the sky, basically you're ignoring terrain at the moment. And Pavel made this floating island, and that's genius. So he's got the engine coming out the bottom and the clouds giving it look like thrust down onto the water base. And then he's put on all the little the moss work and tree work to give it a real look of floating islands. Avatar, isn't it? That's what I'm thinking of, with the floating rocks. Yeah.
Hallelujah Mountains in Avatar.
Yeah, I've not seen that film for a long time, but yes, that's what I sort of think. But there's with the engine underneath. Obviously, this is a artificial flying as well, and then having the crown flyers next to it, as if they're flying under it like that, and the nice angling of the rock as well does look like they're just trying to shoot under the rocks in a bit of a showboating manoeuvre with the ship underneath. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a great use for the extra little flying bases you get, and like you said, that using the smoke from the engine to cover up the stem for the base is a really, really clever idea, and it's really well done. It's nice and vibrant and suitably dystopian with its rocket boosters connected to the bottom of it. It'd be interesting to see. So we know that the Union Advance / extra sprue that's coming out with the John Henry has got a fortification that you can stick on top of an oil rig, but just sticking something on an island like this that's floating as well, that'd be quite fun as a little project to do. I think it could work quite well as well, in theory. So yeah, great work from Pavel. So this is my pick, and like I said before, Mac has made his way back in for another slide. This board is just insanely good. It is an entire submarine with a little mini world's map on it as well, on the bridge, all the little consoles and speed and manoeuvre devices at the head of the bridge, and chairs, and then you've got all the decks and the bridging below it. It's just a really awesome board, and I know people will be like, oh, but it doesn't look like a Morgana. And no, it doesn't look exactly like a Morgana, but I don't care. It is an incredibly good board. Well thought out, well executed. I would love to play on something like this. It'd be great. Like play out an assault on a ship of some kind would be fantastic. So like when Lost World Exodus makes it here, and you could do a boarding of something against the Crown and have some of the standard Crown sailors on there, as well as the Nautilus crew as well. It just make a really fun little thematic narrative battle.
It's all the little details that I like on this. It's the consoles with all the buttons and screens on. It's the chairs. It's the choice of wood. It looks opulent, like a stateroom. Having a globe in your command centre, well, that just tells you you're on a super science vehicle, doesn't it? Having a big globe with flashing lights so you know where things are on it. Very James Bond, very Captain Nemo. I'm thinking, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. When they're chasing the mini sub, and it's got that globe with the two lights on it showing you where they are, that sort of thing. It's brilliant. That is a piece of work, and of course, it's not just the inside. He's done the outside as well. You've got the panelling on there, and I can see some engine nacelles going on. It would be a privilege to play on this board. It really would.
So another first for Markov's gallery. We requested some further pictures from Alexayev because we loved his board with the little port and everything, and he sent a bunch onto the Discord for us to look at. So we thought we'd share them here as well, and it's more just awesome looking things, like the great big island that's in the middle and next to the Imperium flyers, and some more little 3D printed houses on top of some cliffs on some rocks. Lots of little moss bits for trees to make it stand out, and it blends really well with the mat. It's not a mat, I don't think, actually. Looking at it, I think it's a proper moulded and painted sea board. So I mean, that's even better. But we couldn't not share these because they are really lovely photos that give you more of an idea of the rest of the board that's going to be played on.
It's the fact, the attention to detail and the scale is spot on that really sells it for me. Those trees look like they're about the right size for trees, and the hangars, that lake in the middle of the big island there. I mean, you just want to go swimming there, don't you? This tiny little guy just going swimming in there somewhere. The huge cave he got under one of the islands there. A secret harbour. You can have ships sally forth from that, and so on. Well, that's wonderful work.
Yeah. I don't know. It has a very Tracy's Island feel to it, even though there's no swimming pool or anything on it, or any houses on it or anything. It might be a good little project, actually. A Dystopian Wars Tracy Island, just to stick in the middle as an objective for something. Be a fun little addition to a board, I think. And that is all of our picks for this month. With regards to what's coming up and what's next, it will probably be the July Markov's Gallery.
That'll be next, and we should be getting a game in at sometime in July of Dystopian Wars.
Yep.
Which, did we say we're going to do the SRS lists?
That was the plan, yes.
Yes, that was the plan. Yeah, I should have my... So we're going to go in heavy on SRS and see what happens. I strongly predict that what will happen is there'll be nothing left on the board by turn 3. We'll just blatter each off the board, but it's going to be a bit of fun to see how it goes. I think that's what we're going to try. It'll be my Thule fleet plus support versus your Victory fleet.
Yes.
The points aren't there at the minute. Again, we're going to limit ourselves on points just to ease ourselves back into this game. Maybe we're making it hard on ourselves, I don't know. But yeah, so that's going to be our next game. SRS heavy, 2 fleet actions, to see what happens. I've been looking up how much SRS I can technically get in for our point. It's a filthy. The amount of SRS I can put out with Enlightened is quite nasty. Yeah. Especially if I build the small saucers as aircraft launchers. as well as the Thule. That's going to be a lot of SRS on the board.
I can't put out that much because I don't have a lot of SRS stuff. I've got the big...
You got the Victory?
Avalon and the Victory, and they put out a medium amount of stuff. The only thing I can think is possibly maybe field the Imperium and the Tempelhof instead.
I was going to say, have you not built any Hotspurs?
No.
Ah. I haven't either for our Crown Fleet. Maybe that's something we need to do.
Possibly. I mean, I've still got a bit of time, but I've got a solid list that will put out a good amount of anti-aircraft and still have SRS capabilities, and hopefully should be good enough to go up against a super heavy SRS list. I mean, if it's not, then it doesn't matter, because it's, we're just testing out the SRS to see what it's like and how it works, and if it's absolutely disgustingly filthy or whether it's easily counteractable or what. Is it one of those things where it looks nasty on paper, but in practice it's not quite so hideous?
It may be we get to test out the new Orbats on that if we hold fire just long enough. We know they're coming.
Yep.
There's a lot of where are the new Orbats going on the Discord. They're coming, I promise. Okay? They're coming. They'll get here when they get here. Stop asking. But they are coming.
You war hosts need to pull your finger out and get all that spell checking done quicker.
I know, but there's so many I's and E's. It's not that at all, no. They are coming. We are. Look, things are afoot. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Things are afoot, and hopefully, by the time we do this, we should have a new Orbat to play with. So that'd be nice because it'd be nice to play the next game with the new Orbat rather than the last hurrah of the old one.
Yeah, I think it might be worth us, if the new Orbats have the patrons in, maybe just knocking the points up enough to include a patron each, just to see how much of a difference they make, or depending on what the powers are for them. I mean, if they're going to be completely...
That would definitely be worth a try again. If the new Orbats will have the patrons in, and there will be an explanation of how that works. I have seen the patrons, or I've seen some of the patrons, so I know roughly how that works, but I can't remember what Stuart said or not, so I'm not going to say anything out here. Off the top of my head, I'm not going to give out any secrets, but I have seen how the patrons work, and that would be a lot of fun to try out.
Yeah.
Rather irritating, I haven't seen the patrons for either of our fleets. I've seen them for other fleets, but not ours.
No. And we'll actually play a scenario this time as well from the Cyclone of Shadows books.
Yes, that would be good if we remember to do that this time.
Yeah. I've got my platforms built up as well now, so we'll be able to actually have some proper platforms and things on the table as well, hopefully. So yeah,
have you read the story for Cyclone? What did you think?
I haven't read. I've started reading the story. I am a slow reader. Ask me again this time next year, and I'll be able to tell you. I've started. The thing that I dug into first was the patrons themselves, because they're short, they're nice and bite-sized, so I can get into those and get out of those in an evening very easily.
Yes. The Dramatis Personae section, yes.
Yeah. So, I'm just reading those at the minute. I think I'm up to the first Imperium one.
Do you have a favourite so far?
Not really, no. I do like Lady Drakenhof for Crown so far over Mycroft, because I read Mycroft previously. But again, it depends on what it is they're going to...
Drakenhof's not Crown, she's Enlightened. You're thinking of...
Oh, no.
Oh, what's her name? The drawing reminded me very, very strongly of Patsy from Absolutely Fabulous. I think that's deliberate. This is Joanna Lumley. Oh, Lady... I keep wanting to say Augusta, because I'm thinking of Augusta Byron at the moment, because she's sitting on my patron table. It's gone. It'll come back to me in a second.
Adastra,
that's it.
Or
yes.
Adrastea.
Yes, which is a made-up name. She's working under a pseudonym. Bit of a spoiler there, but not much.
Yeah, she reminds
she's
me of somebody. As well.
Both her and Mycroft have great stories.
Yep, and that's it. Podcast wise, I'm guessing we're going to do the battle report if we can do it on our battle. Will be the main topic, and it will cover the SRS and the patrons. So that'll be the next YouTube video and podcast, because we'll try not to do slides next time, because I think that limits us to we'll use the slides as a template to look at and go, haha, this is what happened in turn 1 and this is what happened in turn 2, but we won't be going on this slide. We need to sort out
our recording issues because your phone keeps stopping. I guess it's just a case of memory. Obviously video takes up a huge amount of memory. Maybe we need to get a dedicated video camera.
Ooh. Kickstarter coming soon, guys.
I've got an old one somewhere, but I don't know if we're actually able, because it's an old Sony one. You know what they're like for not being compatible with anything. All the Sony stuff.
Don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to think of something, because we tried videoing the match we did at UKGE, and we found it conked out about halfway through, didn't we? I also think next time we should use both cameras, so we've got 2 angles or something like that.
If you want to edit it, then that's cool.
It can't be that hard.
Cool. You heard that, everybody. Sam volunteered.
I used to do that for uni. We'd do video editing for uni. When multiple camera angles is something I was actually pretty good at, but I haven't done it since I left uni 20 years ago.
No time like the present.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. And more Hercules coming soon as well, hopefully.
Yes, that is on. I've actually got it on the table. I was hoping to do some filming this afternoon. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But I am hoping to actually sit and do some painting with that. I think setting up the blooming camera and lighting rig so you can see it takes actually longer than the blooming painting, I think, some days.
Yeah, I know that problem. Preview for what's next on the Hercules project? You've done chipping and rust.
I've got to get the main body colour onto him, so at the moment it's just rust coloured and metal. So I'm going to cover him in chipping solution, not cover him in chipping solution, but put chipping solution there. Get the main body colour on, which I think is going to be a dark green. Chip all that off, and then I'm going to be adding the other weathering effects I've got. So I've got some typhus corrosion to put on, and I've got that something oxide.
Oxide one, yeah. I can't
put the oxide on. So basically, it's going to be getting the main colour on and then weathering it up a lot. That'll probably be next 2 stages. I'm then going to look at adding things to it to add it, so like tarpaulins, boxes in the back. I might put some bullet holes in it. I've seen a way to do bullet holes, and I want to do that. Moss, that wants to be added at some point as well. And so it's really looking run down. And then it's going to be the basing, and I think that's probably going to do it by that point.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing it. It's been fun so far to edit and watch, so...
Well, yeah, if I ever get around, we just gotta set this up, gotta do this. So yeah, it is going to be. I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks to get the main body painted and then scraped off, so it's weathered. It's properly coloured up and weathered.
Awesome. Right, I think that'll do us for this episode. So thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Happy trails, pilgrims.